So today I will be explaining to you some mistakes, that some beginners make whenever they make a mistake while crocheting, and this to with those that are trying to make quality use of their time by making nice and by trying to make something nice out of their crochet skills. So um these mistakes is always general. So majority of crocheters makes mistakes, which in fact, let's say all crocheters always have the, you know not that they are intended doing it, but they always come across making mistakes, you understand, in whatever project they see or they deem fit to make. So what are those mistakes that some crocheter makes during their, while making their project? Actually, when it comes to making whatever things that maybe you want to crochet out to make back, like, take a good look at this. So I am trying to make bag out of this particular project. So this is the side base, this is the side base, so this is the front or the back base, you understand. So, and I'm going to also make the base itself, that is the bottom of it. So now crocheting, and you realize you have come across mistakes. That one is normal mistake that anybody can make. So we have other mistakes that crocheter makes, which you can definitely make good use of, you understand. Now look at this type of stitch I'm making. Yeah, in during the process of making this particular base, I made a kind of mistake, and this type of mistake I made was not something that call for attention. So it's something I would just like to lose and do the needful. I was actually making single crochet, normal single crochet all through, and I realized that this is the stitch I am using. So what you need to do is to make it this. I want it to come out in this type of stitch. And why sometimes some crocheter will make that kind of mistake and they will continue making the project continuously like that. Maybe like just the way I started making this, I made single crochet all through, front and back single crochet. So, and it's becoming like, oh, I don't think I need to continue this way. I wanted to make it of this same particular stitch, you understand. So then I keep doing it. So I have to lose the single crochet and keep doing the this particular type of stitch, you understand. That one is not intended. I did not intended to to lose. I did not intended to to make such stitch, you understand. So now that I realize that. So in another something always happen about we that we are crocheter. Sometimes people will make such mistake and they will still progress doing that mistake, as in that mistake is something that is beautiful, that maybe your intention is to make stitch like this, you understand, and you're like, oh, and you come across, maybe you forgot that this is the stitch you're actually making, and what you need to do is what is just to it's just to lose it. But some people will not lose it, they will just leave it like that. But it's not a mistake that stitch, and maybe you can change this stitch whenever it comes to the side base. Or is that sometimes even some crocheter will like, okay, this is the front base, or maybe this one will be the back base. By the time they want to crochet another thing that has to do with the base, front and back, they will make use of another type of stitch. You understand? So that is why you see some bag, like maybe one maybe what is it called, maybe rough, or what is it called, so some, there are some kind of crochet whereby you'll be have to make a like of rug, for rug or something design. So yeah, so you want to do that. So because of that we have different designs of bag in our community. Did you understand? So these are the type of mistake crocheter make. So we have other mistake that I'm going to share with you. So now let me make a recap of my explanation so that you will not miss it again. Actually, what I said earlier was that, like, this particular side base, I have started making it with single crochet, but the it's not my intention to do that. My intention was to make the same stitch throughout my bag making. Did you understand? So and then I thought of the fact that I don't want single crochet. You understand? So I will have to continue with this. That is why you see this stitch as the same as this. Do you understand? So now, and some other crocheter will not see it like that. They will feel like, oh, so far I have started with single crochet, I can still continue. So definitely they have made good use of their mistake. So that is what I want to talk about as mistake that crocheter makes. You understand? So now, according to me, whenever I am trying to make a particular project and I realize I make one particular mistake, maybe look at this stitch now, it is long and short single crochet. So it's what I use to design to make this stitch, I mean this particular project, and that is what I'm going to be using throughout through throughout the fact throughout making this bag. So in the process, so so what am I saying? So actually I was actually explaining about the kind of mistakes that some crocheter makes, as maybe the mistake that you are not aware of and how to make good use of them. So actually what I explained earlier was that whenever you come across, maybe look at this now, I am making this particular stitch and I'm willing to make this particular stitch throughout my project. That is my intention. If you want, as a crocheter, you have to have a kind of tension that follows your project. You understand? And be it is going to be different stitch, or be it is going to be one particular stitch through your project. You understand? So now what I'm trying to say in essence is that we have different mistakes that crocheter makes, and the one you can make good use of, and the one that you should do away with, is what I'm going to be explaining to you. Now look at this project now. When I started making, actually I've done this earlier before I begin to make this. So when I started making this particular side base, I realized the fact that I did not, I was making like single crochet, normal single crochet, front and back single crochet. And I don't know, maybe you know how it's going to look when you make a stitch like that. So in the process, I have to lose it because I'm not interested in making use of single crochet, because I have my own reason for not using that particular stitch. You understand? So what I need to do is to lose it. You understand? So is to lose it in order for me to come across this particular side base of the same stitch that you're seeing below. You understand? Now, but what I'm trying to say in essence is that some crocheter might not see it as mistake, though it was a mistake, but they see it as, oh, let me just continue making use of it like that. At least by the time I'm done, or you might like, oh, let me just try using another kind of stitch instead of me using the same stitch throughout this particular project. Maybe the crocheter is intending to crochet bag. You understand? So when you choose another kind of stitch, it can also beautify your project. You understand? And it will give it a kind of a kind of like something unique like that. You understand? And sometimes you might not even need to change any stitch whenever you are trying to make your rope project. You understand? But sometimes when you make such this particular mistake that I've said earlier, when you make that kind of mistake, you understand, when you make that kind of mistake, it is liable that that mistake you are making good use of it. So that is question for you. You understand? You are really making good use of the mistake. So you don't need to lose back. You just have to continue, because your intention is like, oh, let me just keep to this particular stitch instead of me, making a particular stitch throughout my project, my back project. So now another type of mistake we crocheter make, as a beginner, especially as a beginner, we make a lot of, especially okay. So another type of mistake that crocheter make is during the process of crocheting whatever they are making. Maybe like this type of stitches now is long and the small single crochet. I'm still going to show you that is long and short single crochet. So in the long run, and that is the pattern I want to stick to. So in the process of trying to stick to the pattern, my mind is not, maybe because I forgot or I did not even take note of the mistake. So in the process, I have to make such mistake unknowingly. You understand? A mistake like maybe I make the short single crochet like 2 times or 3 times, and I now keep to doing the normal stitch after I have made such mistake without even me realizing it. I don't even know that I have made such mistake. So all you need to, and no matter what, no matter that kind of mistake you make, you will still find out maybe earlier. If you are fortunate, you'll find out earlier. But if you are not fortunate, you might even recognize it maybe when you are almost done with the program. That is something that I pray it shouldn't happen, because I don't like such mistake. So now, this particular type of mistake, it is advisable maybe you realize it soon, earlier, or very late during the process of making the project. I would just advise that you lose it. Yes, you lose it. So if you don't lose it, it's not going to make your project looks, nice or unique. You understand? Because when you're not stick to a particular pattern, there's no how your crochet your crochet project will come out nice. That is why we have some crocheters, whenever, or early beginners, whenever you ask them to crochet something, they are not consistent with one particular stitch that they are doing, or they are not interested in, trying to correct their mistakes. So this will not make your project looks so nice. You understand? It won't make your project look so nice. So I urge you that whenever you make such mistake, maybe during the process of making your stitch, maybe you have started making this particular kind of stitch, and in the process you omit, or you keep to or a particular loop that you need to have done this way round, but you are doing it in another way round. So when you notice that, maybe earlier or late or later, try as much as possible to correct it. No matter the stress you have been through before you could get to that stage, and now realizing the fact that there is a mistake below, just you don't have any choice than to what, to lose it. Just lose it, so that your project can come out, especially when you want to sell it out. There are some beginners that they are so amazing. When you ask them to do something as their assignment, and before you know it, they have done the best out of the best, even if they have not been crocheting as ever. Maybe they have not been consistent in question, but they listen to the instruction of their tutor. So now that is another type of mistake crocheter make as a beginner. So another kind of mistake is the one, that one is very, very funny. The mistake is very funny, and this type of mistake is like, when you make such mistake, you can actually make a kind of correction if you think that you are not, you don't need, or you are not interested in, going back to lose it because of the stress and the time. When you realize you make a mistake and you are already reaching towards the end of your project, and you realize the stress and time that you have spent during the project, and at the end of the day you see one job, maybe like a mistake that is not, that will not even make your work looks great. But my dear, you have already made such mistake. All you need to do is what? Is to try as much as possible, as possible, and lose it. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry to say, to lose it. Try as much as possible to find a way to correct it. Yes, you can correct whatever mistake you make. But it's not in all mistakes. It's not in all mistakes, but in some cases, there are some mistakes you will make that you are liable to be corrected. You understand? You will correct it by stitching. Yes. I don't know, maybe I can show you that during this live stream. So it is corrected by what? By stitching. So you make sure that you stitch that same, just the pattern, you stitch the pattern correct on that mistake, or you find a way to, cut it out and make something that is going to, replace that pattern um after you are done with the project. Because making mistake while crocheting will not make your project look so great. It will not make it look unique, and it is frustrating, to be honest. And I'm telling you, our mind is not always stable. Yeah, some people have like 1 hour to be, to have a stable mindset, crocheting one particular pattern without mistake. You understand? But there are some people that they cannot even spend 30 minutes, before you know it, they've made a mistake. You understand? But one thing I like about crochet is that it trains the mind to be consistent, and it also trains the mind to be focused, and I'm enjoying that. So that is why most crocheter can't leave crochet alone, because it is always, relieving somehow. It's relieving, it reduces your stress, it makes you focus, because you can't afford to make mistake. When you realize the fact that this mistake, I mustn't make it doing this kind of project, or you feel like if I dare make mistake while doing this type of project, I will not be able to lose it back. So whenever, if you know that you are such a person, whenever you are making such project that you can't just afford to make mistake while making the stage, all you need to do is to um make a kind of roll. After you have made a roll of your stitch, you have completed it, check it again if there is a mistake, so that if the mistake can still be corrected by losing it, you understand, before you get to maybe almost the end of it. So that is just what I am going to advise you. Do you understand now? So if you want to crochet um maybe a gown, and that gown has to do with pineapple stitch or something like that, or stitch that has to do with all these lacing design and every other thing like that, and I'm so sorry if you make a mistake, you don't have any choice than to lose it and do it back. Yes, if you don't do that, you might not be able to come out with the uniqueness you needed on that project, on that dress project. So all you need to do is that whenever you are making it, if you have make a roll, you understand, or when, let's say that you are making a flare skirt or a flare gown, you understand. So I in the process, you are like, it's going to be like 1000 stitch in a row. All you need to do is to be checking it after you have made like 100 stitch. You understand, just try to stay consistent, so that, and stay consistent and make your mind be at focus, kind of, you will not make such mistake, because mistakes while crocheting something like gown, something like skirt, maybe flare skirt, that such mistake, you can't just afford to make it. Yes, you can afford to make it. So that is that. I'm going to be explaining to you now. Let us go into practical. Let's go into practical, in case you might not see it, like the kind of yarn I'm using for my projects. Whenever you see my bag, I'm going to be posting on that project very soon, and it's going to be about this bag. So it's going to come out in a nice, like as webinar, as a YouTube webinar. So now I love making use of my twine thread of this size. Yes, this is size 9. This is size 9, Nigerian size 9. So this is the type of yarn I'm using. So I mix it together with a white yarn as well, so that it's going to have a touch of white. So that is why you are seeing this white. Can you see this white? So that is why you're seeing this white and among the stitch. So now if you want to make maybe you want to make yours, so you can also do the same, especially when it comes to twine thread. I just love mixing or merging different strands of yarn together to make my crochet bag. You understand, because sometimes I might want it thick, sometimes I might want it very light, very soft, you understand, and sometimes I might decide a particular design, a particular stitch. So that is when, so the only period I can use a particular strand that has to do with maybe size 42 or something. So that is when I maybe I want to crochet a kind of flower, some petals of flower, maybe flower that has to do with a lot of petals. So I can decide to make that. I can still also make use of, you know, merging different types of strands together is going to work for me. So I have decided that making use of this, though if I see such strand, because in my area here I can't find that, so if I see such strands of yarn, I don't mind using them, you understand. But this one is more available to us in Nigeria, but I so much love it, mixing like five, like six or whatever strands of yarn I want to use for my project. Is always beautify my project, and I love it so much. So that is one of the reasons my crochet bag always comes unique, nice, because sometimes I will just make a bag and people will like, how do I manage to make this bag this way? When you teach some people using with the usage of strands, they believe that that particular strand you have shown them using the video with the video is still that size or that number of strands that I used throughout. But the secret that is there is that it is not always all the strands that I've used. Like now, I might make use of 6 strands in this project. So by the time I'm about to complete it, maybe I want to make maybe flower, or I want to make a kind of cap on it. So I might not use this 6 strands. I might decide to use 4 strands, or I might decide to use more than 6 strands. That depends on me. You understand? That depends on the type of or how I want my cover bag to look. You understand? So now let's go into the practical part. So now I'm going to be making this in order to shorten our time. So this is the side base of my bag. Don't worry, you will find out about how to make the side base very soon. Sorry. So this is size 3.0 mm. So I just want to show you the kind of mistake that you can come across whenever you are making your crochet project. So can you see? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. So I'm going to begin with single crochet. And one thing about single crochet is that once you begin with chain, just try as much as possible to omit the last loop, the last chain you make. So this is what we call chain. All this is chain. So you omit the last loop, then you begin with the next one. So then you will insert your needle just like this. So if you are new to crochet, so this is an opportunity for you to pay attention. So now this particular point, this particular hook, all you need to do is to make sure it faces you as it is facing the camera. So make the hook face you like this and hold this flat surface of your crochet hook. Then you yarn over. Can you see how I do mine? I yarn over, then I bring it out from that hole just like this. Can you see? Then you yarn over. So I have to reel this yarn on my hand just because it is a lot of strands, it of 6 strands. That is why I'm reeling it on my index finger. So now that I've been able to achieve another loop, so I have to make another loop to complete my single crochet just like this. And don't forget, this particular hook is facing you understand, in order to bring another kind of loop. So this is a loop, so you have been able to achieve that. So what you will do next is to make another kind of single crochet. So you're making single crochet throughout this hole. So in case you don't know the type of place I am inserting my hook, so I am inserting my hook from the center of this chain. You understand that I made. So I have done this, so I don't need to use this anymore. So I'm using the next chain. So I'm going to yarn over. Don't forget, your hook is facing you immediately you have bring out this loop. Just insert your needle. You understand, you can make it face down, you can make it to face up, whatever. So by the time you are about to yarn over just like this is yarn over. So make sure your hook face you, then hold your flat surface, then you crochet out. So before you can bring this out, you can see that my hook is facing down. You understand? So then you bring it out, then you are able to make another loop. So making another loop now is by, can you see it's facing the camera, and that is how your crochet hook should be facing you. Then you will bring it out. You after you have been able to yarn over, make sure that as your crochet hook is facing you is the way it's going to also go down. After yarning over, then you bring it out like this. Can you see? Even despite the fact that I merge like 6 strands of um yarn together, you understand? So no matter what type of yarn you're using, you can just do it like that so that you can be efficient while making your own single crochet. So you're going to do the same. Just insert it into the next loop, then you bring it out, then you have it this way. Can you see that? So let me make it close to the camera. So now the next one, you do the same thing. Make sure your crochet hook face you, then you will have to yarn over. So immediately you yarn over, let that hook surface to face down, just like how you're seeing it. Then you bring it out. So by the time you bring it out, your hook should be facing you again. You understand? Then you yarn over as the hook is facing the camera. Then you will make it face down after you have yarn over to make another loop. So you have made single crochet by doing such. Then you will insert your needle into the next chain. You will yarn over. As you have yarned over, your hook should be facing down. So then by the time you are bringing it up, your hook should be facing you again as it is facing the camera. Then you yarn over, then you bring it up, then you have make another kind of single crochet. I hope you are following me. So if you enjoy my video, please comment. So now this is another single crochet stitch. So this is how you keep doing it. You see now? So no matter your block, no matter how your block making crochet, there is no how you will watch this video and you will realize it is not for you. Some people say crochet is not for you. So crochet is something that almost everybody should learn. Yes, because number one, it saves you from I don't know how to explain that, but I just know that crochet should be part of like home skill that every woman should have. In fact, men are also into crocheting as profession. So just like how teaching should be everybody's job because of our children, so the same thing has to do with crochet as well. Then now the next thing I've been able to make like 10 single crochet. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 then 10. Then I'm going to yarn over, then I am going to begin my next row of single crochet. Now the mistake I made here is what I want to continue to start making now. I want to be making another single crochet, which is not supposed to be. You understand? My intention has changed because I was carried away. You understand? So this type of mistake always happens. So once you've noticed that, you go back to your intention of making this particular stitch. You understand? So now the first thing I will do is to make single crochet. So after making it, then I am going to be crocheting, inserting my needle from this single crochet below. Can you see? Look at it now. This is it. So I'm going to insert my needle in. So now I'm bringing it out. So I'm actually aiming towards making this type of stitch. Then I'll make single crochet after this. Now my single crochet should fall on this particular hole. Do you understand? Can you see? Then I am going to insert it. Now the next stitch I will be doing is the long single crochet, which is going to be below. Can you see where I insert it? Not here. Instead of me to have inserted here, so I have to insert it below the single crochet I made. Then I'm going to make the small stitch, which is a normal single crochet stitch. So into this same loop, into the normal loop, this is it, into this loop under the V pattern. So can you see now? Then you will insert your next stitch. To make your next stitch, insert your needle below the next single crochet. So below the next single crochet, then you will now make single crochet itself. So you are going to understand what I'm trying to do by the time I will begin the next row. Then look at this now. So the long single crochet, then the small single crochet, do you see? So the long one now. So don't, whenever you reach this place and the next thing to make is the long single crochet, don't hesitate, just do it. Yeah, you will find the loop to do that. So I just have to reel my needle, my yarn on into my index finger, because I am dealing with not just one strand of yarn but like 6 strands of yarn. So now what I'm going to do now, because I have made the long single crochet as the last stitch here, so the next one is small single crochet, which I am going to use the last loop here that I made. Then I'm going to make my single crochet. So you're going to understand the pattern now. So now this is small single crochet that I made in the previous row. So I am going to make you good use, or take advantage of that by inserting my needle below this single crochet below. This is single crochet. So I am inserting my needle. So I'm inserting my needle below the single crochet. So can you see? Then this is a long single crochet, so I am going to insert my needle into the middle of it to make my small single crochet. So it's just as simple as that. So another one is a long single crochet, which is going to, my hook is going to fall below it. You understand? So now I am going to take advantage of that by making the long single crochet. Then the long single crochet that you're looking at here, I'm going to make the short single crochet from it. Can you see? So then the long single crochet from so can you see now? So now whatever mistake, by because I am teaching you right now, I have not come across the mistake that you might come across whenever you lost tension, you understand, or you lost attention, you understand. So this is it. I don't have to make these. I have to make the long single crochet. So I don't know, maybe some of you that you're watching me right now have come to this live stream yesterday. Okay, now I'm done. So all I need to do is to flip back, you understand. So now I am going to, because I ended with the long single crochet, so I have to begin the next row with a short single crochet, which is the normal single crochet stitch, you understand. So now I'm going to make the long stitch. So I'll keep to doing that, so that I'm going to, fall this and in the same stitch. So I don't know, maybe I should be doing it fast now that you have been with me. So now I will now have to intentionally make mistake, so that you will see the type of mistakes I'm talking about. So there are some mistakes that you can just leave and it is going to work by stitching over it, or it's going to work by cutting a particular, that particular place that you've made a mistake. So now let me just intentionally make a mistake. Maybe I've lost my mind, so I'm trying to dramatize the situation. So now this is like I have, so maybe in the process I have to make small single crochet, which I have to, I've made like 2 single crochet on this row. So all I need to do is that um let me just keep going just to make it looks like I've made a mistake, you understand. So now this particular stitch, now that I have discovered the fact that I've made mistake. So all you need to do is just lose it. Yes, if you don't lose it, there is a way out, but it's not going to look neat. You understand? It's not going to. But this type of project that I'm doing now, there's tendency that whenever you make mistake, you don't have choice than to lose it. There's no how you will even, stitch over it that will still look the same. You understand? That is just about mistake in crochet. And there are some mistakes that you can take advantage of. As I said earlier, you can definitely take advantage of some mistake, whereby you just have to stitch over them, or you cut it out and try to make the stitch look the way you want it to look. And it's almost, in some cases it works when you are good at crocheting, or when you are good at fixing stitching clothes, or teaching stitching whatever. When you are good at that, you are going to understand how you should be, correcting a mistake without losing the whole process that you have been through. You understand? And some people say that crochet can be boring. Of course, one of the disadvantage of crochet is that it's boring. But to some extent, that's, there are some people that actually love crocheting. So it's not always boring to them. It's just that it make them make good use of their time. It makes them being productive whenever they think they are less busy, or it makes them feel like a boss whenever they try to make a, like, as for me, it makes me feel like I'm a boss, because I know how to go about whatever stitch that has to do with crochet. You understand? So if you say crochet is boring, maybe that is because you don't like crochet that much, or that is because um maybe you are still like practicing. So for those that have, learn it in a grand style, in a grand way, trying to brand their design, trying to brand their business. So those people won't find crochet boring. They make use of whatever opportunity they find to even make more beautiful crochet projects instead of complaining that it is boring. You understand? Making stitch is one of the beautiful things to the heart, to your own heart, to our heart. Yes, when you keep making stitch, that in fact there are some common stitch that whenever you start making them, you can also make use of them in a grand style that people will like. I know this is single crochet, but I just love your manner of design, the way you bring about a pattern using single crochet. You understand? So it's not always too boring for those that knows that maybe crocheting is a gold mine for them. You understand? It's not always everybody that see it as boring. I see it as beautiful things ever. So whenever I'm less busy, whenever I feel like I need to be doing something, I'll just go to my drawer, get hold of my yarn, my crochet hook, and then I began to crochet because I love this particular lifestyle of doing things all with your hand. I come across a particular novel. Yeah, it talks about a woman that have not been seen. Maybe has been working in a particular kind of company. So along the long run, the company has to minimize the number of staffs that they have so that they will be able to work on their company financially and confidently. But the number of staff they are having, they are basically too much for them to handle because of the situation of what the company has been going through. So this woman was one of those staff that was asked to stay at home so that and the information that they will pass to them is that they will call them maybe later, maybe when the company is standing, it has become stable in terms of their financial, maybe financially, and every other thing is being stable. So they will tell them that they will call them back. But I'm telling you for free that you might not be called back. You understand? You might not be called back to begin working again. So the woman have understood the assignment. So all she needs to do is to begin to stay home, and which is not part of her lifestyle. So whenever you realize that you like working or earning, you will not even wait for anyone to tell you to work. Before you know, the next thing for you is to find another job. So she's not used to staying at home without doing anything that can bring money into money to her pocket. So all she has to do is to look for a kind of handcraft. So she even regret the fact that she did not learn any handcraft. That is why handcraft should be one of our lifestyle. Yes, I don't mean she has a particular handcraft that she has, maybe she has learned before she could become a war staff in a company. She won't regret you know her stay home as a stay home wife or stay at home mom, something like that. So all she has to do is to look for a kind of handcraft that she can be learning. So she thought of using maybe trying to be a crocheter through leisure time. So she will have, after doing whatever she has to do in her house, she will go down to where she can find a crocheter to teach her whatever thing that she needs to do. But she couldn't find, she has to learn online. So she came across a particular tutor, a particular crocheter that can tutor her um perfectly. So she began to crochet. She started crocheting gradually without learning how to crochet initially. So before you know it, she she started being perfect in it, because when you consistently uh, um put your mind in something that you intended to do, so when you're consistently doing it, it's going to come out so beautiful. And she started making beautiful projects. So before you know it, she become a crocheter. You understand? And at the long run, she started crocheting just like that. She started blogging online. She started making a YouTube video. She started stitching, crocheting different type of stitches and every other thing. So that is why if you're a crocheter, if you're whatever position you might be, all you need is have a kind of handcraft, even if not for yourself, for your children, because it has also is obvious that it is not the life you think your children will live with you will always live sometimes. So a kind of handcraft is going to help them when they are in the tight corner. So that is why you have to take your time to learn to do with crochet. You understand? Crochet is a kind of handcraft that can always open your creativity block, whatever you are block in terms of inspiring creativity. Crochet open it once you have that intention of continuously doing it. You understand, without stopping, non-stop. So that is what I'll be talking about. That is what I all want you to know about. Now, let me do a recap of everything I have explained in this video, in this live stream. So thank you for joining me for doing this live stream. This is Miola Creation channel. My name is Rukoya Fatoki. So the brain behind this particular channel. Now, so what I'm trying to explain is that I just chipping that story for you to know that handcraft should be one of your basic, you should have a basic skills that can help you whenever you are in a tight corner. So now what I've explained earlier is some mistake crocheter makes. So there are some mistakes that most of our crocheter make. Some of the mistake you can make good use of them. You can make good use of them, and while other mistake you can make them and skip those mistake by correcting them. Yes, you can correct them by stitching over. Why there are some mistakes that you can always make good use out of them, and there are some that you can never try to do that. All you need to do is to lose all and begin to um correct the mistake. Did you understand? So try as much as possible to make your crochet look so beautiful. And the only way your crochet can look beautiful is to always try to be to put your attention towards whatever you are doing. You understand? Let your mindset be um be maybe your intention is a particular project. Maybe your intention is a particular stitch, and you end up doing another kind of thing that might does not resonate to your project in a way that you don't even know where it's going to result to. So that is one of the mistakes some of our new beginners always do. So their project is not always looking nice at the end. So you have to have the intention of you making that particular stitch that you begin with. So when we are talking about correction, just make sure that you try as much as possible to easily locate your mistake as fast as possible, so that not that by the time you are about to end your project, it is when you will now realize that you have made a blunder. In fact, let me call it blunder. Maybe you have made a lot of mistakes that you cannot just. So as a beginner, it is always stressful for you to come across such mistake and thinking of losing it is too boring for you. So if you know what you are doing and you want to make good use of your creativity, all you need to do is just to lose it. You understand? And in another way round, if you think that one of my explanations says that you don't need to lose when you come across such mistake. Maybe you thought of the fact that you can actually stitch it when or fix the mistake by stitching. You understand? So that is when you are good at what you are doing. You understand? And another kind of mistake that is that maybe their intention is to make one stitch, one particular pattern, and they feel like, let me just change this pattern into another kind of stitch so that it will come out with another pattern which can also resonate with the previous design that the crocheter is intended to continue with. So if it was a mistake that she made before she could now decide that particular pattern, it was a mistake that derived at that pattern in the first place. So she will have to leave it like that because it is still something that can still beautify her project. So in that case, you don't need to lose. You continue with that mistake and you make it a beautiful one that will resonate with your project, that will makes it looks unique. So another mistake that crocheter make is, you know you've started it already, but you did not quickly take note of the mistake because it's so hidden, you can't see it easily. All you need to do is to what, and you don't have choice than to what, to lose it. So I'll just urge you to lose it. You understand? You just have to lose it. If not, you might end up making a kind of style that you cannot present, maybe to your customer or to whoever that you deem fit. You understand? So in this kind of live stream, I thank you for watching. So you guys are watching from, but I know that you are showing up and I can see the numbers of people watching me. So thank you, and please give this video a thumb up at least. Thank you very much. So bye for now. Don't forget that crafting, creativity should be part of your lifestyle, should be one of the things that you should not doubt. You understand? Don't doubt it. Don't just waste your time on the internet and browsing up and down without having a special skill. You understand? A skill that can help you. It won't be digital skill or non-digital skill or physical skill, just like crochet. So you need anything that can help you to improve your daily lifestyle. Did you understand? So try as much as possible to have a particular skill. So if you want to learn more about crochet, you want the luxury part of crochet lifestyle, you can let me know. You can comment interested in learning more about crochet. It's not something that you need to mix if you are really interested. So do have a lovely day. So bye. Thank you for watching.